There's what I have for the kick panel so far. Pretty rough shape, but it is taking a shape. Not too easy. This stuff takes a lot of heat to finally get it to bend, and to get it to bend uniformly. And right here in the center it's quite a kink. I gotta go a little more, and it really wants to distort it. But you can kind of shrink that stuff like metal, so once I get it to shape, I can pick little spots, get it hot, push it together, kind of shrink the high spots out of it, kind of smooth it out to where the carpet over the top shouldn't care at all. And I don't know. Anyway, so far I'm still going. So far it's still a go. See if we can make it conform, come out to be something useful. And still working on it. This is taking a lot of time. But it is getting closer, getting it dialed in just a little bit more. And so far, yeah, still go. So keep plugging away at it. And I want to get this panel done. Of course, this is one of the hardest ones, which I don't mind doing the hardest one first. And anyway, so hopefully the rest of it will kind of go quicker. Alright, so their finished product. Damn, that was hard. Not easy. Get all them angles tucked up nice and tight up against there on the bottom. And yeah, it's gonna work pretty good. Looks pretty good. Just run the carpet long, the material long on this bottom edge, and then this top piece will sit in here and pinch that in. And of course it'll be treated on the back so it won't vibrate and rattle, crap like that. Same thing on the top, it'll run long and then up over the top, and then this will sit down on top of it. Sandwich that piece in there. So you know, essentially pretty easy to remove. And then I don't have to try and make any of this stuff pretty, because I'll seam seal that. Finally making a little more progress. I'm getting some more of my panels laid out, and I'll make this panel wrap around that dead pedal, and then I'm going to make a piece right here which will hook to this whole bottom carpet piece, and that'll be kind of an insert which will just secure the bottom carpet so it doesn't move, and then it'll just flap over the rest of this up underneath the pedals, nice and clean. And then another piece which is going to go here all the way up, tuck into this real nice, and then a piece to go around the amps, which of course will be removable. So that's quite an accomplishment, getting that done. This stuff takes time. So now I'm going to lay it out, cut it out, and get it bent. Plug in away a little bit more on this, hour or so each night. Got this panel here done, and this one here is pretty much done, except for this piece. See this bend right here? That's the side of my foot. It fits right there. Feels good. And then I'll provide a couple of spots up here, tie down this piece, keep that from flapping. And then when that's pinched in there, it's pinched in here up against that. And then that holds the side of this tight and the side of that tight. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I think it'll be alright. I think it'll be good. I'll put a light in here on each side. There'll be sound deadening in here. Everything padded, so nothing is bouncy, crazy. And once I get that dialed in, tied down proper, then we'll move on to this piece, getting this encased. Hide the ugliness from that. And there's my back panel. All trimmed around the amps. Sits in there pretty good. So yeah, this side's pretty much done. See if I can climb in here. Let's see some of the inside stuff maybe. Hopefully that'll work pretty good. Alrighty, so yeah, for today, a whole bunch of the same. I'm starting the passenger side. I got some more material, more templates, cut it out, and found out from a guy just using tin snips on that stuff works good. So yeah, that saves a lot of time, saves a lot of mess, works real good just cutting that out with tin snips. And then I'll lay that in there and get it bent. And meanwhile I'm dreaming up the ideas on my dash area still, as far as what I'm going to cover that with and all that. Yeah, just focusing real hard on needing to get the kick panels done here. So on to the passenger side. Now there's that piece all crammed in there. I haven't had any heat to it yet. You know, and I was starting off with my templates and leaving it kind of wide and then cramming it in there and making sure it's going to fit, and you know, it took a lot of time testing it, cutting it, testing it, cutting it, and now I'm down to where I'm really making my templates just exact, and then I'm cutting out my pieces just exact, and what do you know, it fits. So putting it in there, not having to do any trimming. You know, I may trim that back just a little bit and smooth it down when it's all done, but it's ready to put in there and start bending just right off the bat. And on this one I'm going to split that, and after it's bent I'll fill that in with some fiberglass. I'm not going to fight that weird bend right there like I did on the other side. I'll just make a quick bend here, quick bend there, fill that in, be done with it, and then finish it up in here. Here's a couple of bends, and then tuck that in there by the heater blower. So hopefully this one will get done quick. And there is passenger side done. Got this piece here ready to go, and that stuff will be all secure. It won't be flopping around like that when it's all said and done. And then this piece here, I haven't decided if I want to leave that loose and just fill the void with carpet, or if I actually want to fiberglass that. So, but the rest of it, yeah, all good. Nice bends, tucks in there well. This piece here, you know, nothing's really tied down, secured. It's just kind of where it belongs. And then this piece here, and the only thing that's missing is my sub. Got to get my 8-inch sub, make a box, and then a cover over the back, just like I did with the amps. And now I'm gonna get the voice coil and the tweeter mocked up in here. I'm gonna build some kind of pod right up in this pillar on both sides. And yeah, start working on that. Well, now I'm going to go ahead and get the pod set up for the voice coil, and then for the tweeter. Somewhere's in here, and yeah, I'm not quite sure how it's going to look yet, but that's where I want it. Bar's kind of in the way, so I want a certain angle. And, you know, it's got to kind of tuck in there and fit. It's got to clear when the door shuts. And I'm kind of glad I'm putting that there, because it's an ugly spot. You know, just looking in there, it's an ugly spot. So it'll be nice to cover that up. And so right now what I'm doing is I got a piece of paper and rigging up a bracket, which I'm going to end up just using a clamp, go around this bar and hold these brackets, which that speaker will mount to, and then I'll build build a cover around it, which will probably cover up this whole post. Stop right here. So we'll dream up something like that. And yeah, like I say, it'll be good because it'll cover up all that ugly stuff right there. And yeah, anyway, my head's spinning, thinking about a lot of stuff, what to do with this dash in the interior, but it is getting closer. And we're starting to get some stuff out of the way, little by little. And there's my speaker mounted. Took a little bit to get the right angle, get the right mount in there. Now I'll figure out how to make a casing around all that, which will also embed the tweeter, pointing at the same angle. So yep, see how that goes. There's what I got now, and basically, you know, putting tape, making a form, and then I'll cover that with a couple of sheets of fiberglass. And I still need to finish up this part here and then underneath, and I'll remove that side of the dash right there. I'll square up that tweeter just a bit, kind of make sure that's level. and then that'll meet up with the door real nice. I'll make sure it kind of follows the contour of the door when the door shuts. So yeah, looking good. There's the other side, getting it set up. Trying to get the angles the same. Trying to get them pointing the same direction. And I broke out my laser level again, trying to get them the same height. Which is kind of weird because this side of the dash is higher than that side. So this side is much closer under here than that side was. But it's going to meet up at the door about the same spot. And when you come out front and you eyeball down the front of it, that's going to be the same. You'll see the tweeter pod be at the same level, which is what we want. And once I get this side a little bit closer, I may rework that one a little bit and make sure they're both looking the same. I'm going to redo the tweeter pod on that side because when I was looking through my box I realized it actually came with a little pod. So I'm going to incorporate that into there instead of my toilet paper roll, and that'll make a little better insert for that tweeter. So finish getting this thing tied down, and then I'll start getting my tape and everything set up like I got that side. Okay, now my last final check was making this ring, which will go right there, and same ring as we got over there. And what's cool, if you turn that over, put it on that one, it's the same. So meaning I got this speaker in the same spot. And then if you measure from here back to here, it's about a 1/16 of an inch off of there. So yeah, pretty much right on the money. Each angle, every way, level, and all that. So yeah, time to continue. I'm going to cover this up with tape real good so no fiberglass gets on it. And then I'll begin laying out my inside reverse type mold like I did this side here. And like I say, redo that little tweeter pod